This virus has pushed us further and further apart. We can't see one another in person as much, and when we do, it's behind masks, which means that I can't really see your expression. I can't see when you're trying to smile. I can't see or detect your attempt at a joke or some humor. Now look, even before this virus forced all these changes on us, it wasn't that great to begin with, right? Always looking down at devices, even when there's a human being sitting right there in front of us. And all this has served to weaken the connections that we have, and we're losing ground. When we're pushed to living almost entirely inside of media, this has a much greater effect than it once did, and it's sapping us of our collective power. Look, it's not good for us emotionally either, but it also serves to take away our collective power. If we want to make positive change in the world, we want to get better at expressing strong ideas and ideals with clarity and empathy. Clarity of purpose so that we are able to speak in simple, direct terms that are easily understood, and ideas that will travel and are built to do so. And empathy, which starts with listening, so that we actually understand one another in the language that we use. These two things are intertwined and depend upon one another. Now, some of the biggest problems that we face today as a society could be solved already if we could speak with clarity and empathy. So, for instance, COVID, systemic racism, climate change, policing and criminal justice, just to name a few. And if not us, then who? It occurs to me that a key piece in solving each one of these issues is the way we talk about it. And that's a marketing problem. Now look, marketing and messaging isn't going to solve the entirety of all these problems, but it will be a key component. It'll be the thing that gets people able to talk about these things, to catalyze conversations, to start propagating good ideas in the face of disinformation and misinformation on those who are willfully trying to derail progress. Now, if you are turned off by that word marketing, it's with good reason, right? We've seen a lifetime of bad practices by marketers who have taught us to recoil at the word marketing. So I get it. But let me remind you of two things. One is that marketing doesn't need to be this way just because bad actors do it that way. And number two, we're marketing all the time. I mean, if you want to propagate any new idea into the world, whether you have a not-for-profit, you're trying to gain some traction, that's marketing. If you have a creative business and you're trying to get your art or your music out there, that's marketing. If you have a service, you're an electrician or a plumber or a house painter, that's marketing. If you have a business like a personal trainer, massage therapist, acupuncturist, you're going to need marketing. And guess what? Even those of you who are not running your own business, think of when you're trying to get a job, a traditional job. You have to market yourself. Now, this is where I can help and where you can help too. For me, I've been running a podcast called Marketing Without the Marketing since 2015, and it's all about using respectful and ethical soft touch techniques to connect with an audience in a way that's comfortable to most small businesses. It's not that interruption marketing that's aggressive and pushy that you might be familiar with. And for you, this is where you live, right? We've been forced to spend more of our time online in media. And I don't need to tell you about how to be careful about disreputable sources, to make sure that the trust level is high before you share. But what about the stuff that you produce and put into the world? This stuff is what I call the digital representation of you. So for instance, are you missing the mark because you've got some of the nuances wrong, or you're relying too much on cliches, or the language is a little bit misses the mark, if you will? If that's happening, even unwittingly, you may be turning off the audience that you hope to gain their support of your ideas. And that's what I want to get into here. I call this project Consider the Source, and it will use audio, video, and other forms of creative expression, including songwriting, to talk about what it's like to be marinating in media and to use it better. The songwriting thing might sound offbeat, but I've been doing this for decades, and I've been writing a lot recently, and a lot of my songs are about exactly this, which is missed connections and missed opportunities. So it is more of a natural fit than you might think, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Plus, here's the thing. I miss live music. I miss performing, and I miss being a spectator, being in the room with the energy of a live performer. And look, this is not going to replicate that in any form. However, I would like to try to at least invite you into my studio and take part in this as if, we were getting together live. So I expect this project on Patreon to be a mix of a few different things. One is this Consider the Source project, which will be talking about auditing media and our messaging and getting clearer about that. It'll be my podcast episodes, though on Patreon you'll get early access and exclusive episodes. And then I also produce some courses that get into deep dive strategic things on a variety of topics that I work with clients. And those are available to supporters as well. Now, I'm using this platform, Patreon, because I want this to be a community. The alternative is for me to just take this content and spray it out there on social to an audience that mostly doesn't care. I want to know that you want to be here with me, and that's why I'm doing it here in this sort of closed environment. I want to bring people in and make this more of a discussion. I'm here to listen to you as much as you're here to listen to me. All right. Hope you'll join me, and we'll see you upstairs.